It's happened, guys. I caught the Warhammer 40K bug. Just kidding. But I did start playing Warhammer 40K pretty recently, so yeah. The first time I recorded this part, it sounded a little bit too much like a sponsored video, and it isn't at all, but like when I first recorded it, like everything really sounded like I was being sponsored by like Games Workshop or something, and I'm totally not at all. Not even like my local hobby shop or anything like that, but I am enjoying Warhammer 40K. I play it with a couple of my close friends, and yeah, that's kind of what this video is going to be about. One of the things I really like about it is that it kind of combines a lot of my favorite hobbies. Like, I really like building models, I like painting, or just artistic things in general, and I really like strategy games, so like combining those all together into one nice neat package is basically what 40K is for me. Now, let's get to the elephant in the room early on in this video. 40K isn't exactly the cheapest hobby to get into. It can easily cost several $100s to build up a fairly decent sized army. I started with Space Marines mostly because it was easier to find used models for them on eBay and Reddit, and save a little bit of money by buying them used instead of buying brand new. So by buying used and kind of building up over time, I was able to save a little bit of money, plus not have a large chunk all spent at one time, which would have made Shinny Wifey very unhappy. I started collecting right about at the end of 2019, and I decided that I wanted to play the Black Templars, which are kind of a unique group of Space Marines that have been on a 10,000 year crusade for the Emperor of Mankind, at least according to the lore. Not only did I think they looked cool, but their lore involved a lot of knight and crusader type references that I just thought was really neat. In Warhammer, if you're going to be building and painting potentially hundreds, if not thousands of models, depending on like what army you pick, it might be a good idea to actually like what you're building and painting, or else you're probably going to get bored or burn out and might not stick with the hobby for very long. So after I'd started building up my Black Templar and kind of had a decently sized army, I started looking around and realized there's quite a few other factions to play as well. And it was at that point in time I realized I didn't want to only play Black Templar. Right now there are about 24 separate and unique factions in Warhammer 40K, ranging from Space Orcs to Space Marines, Imperial Guard, which are basically normal humans, to Space Elves or Eldari. Quite a few, just kind of ranging all over the spectrum here. Some of the armies have what they call allies in the lore and in the rules, and you can actually ally in other factions and play with them together. So I decided if I was going to start up a second army, I wanted them to be able to be allied with my Black Templar, potentially. Now in the rules, that's not exactly an efficient or optimized way to play, but it's cool and it's fun. And I pretty much only play with my friends, so it works out for how I play. So enter the Adeptus Mechanicus, or the tech priests of the Imperium of Mankind, which is like, the Imperium is like one big faction, which includes Space Marines, Imperial Guard, Adeptus Mechanicus, Custodes, Sisters of Battle, and Inquisitors? I think, like, there might be some more in there that kind of fit in between the cracks, but I think those are most of the large groups for the Imperium. And then you've got Chaos, you've got Xenos, you've got, I don't know, there's a bunch of different stuff going on with a bunch of different sub-factions within those. But basically, the Adeptus Mechanicus, they make all the cool weapons and vehicles and stuff for the Imperium. And then, so they're like the mechanics, which I guess is Mechanicus, but they also have their own fighting force. Like, they have their own army with soldiers and everything like that. Now, to me, these guys just looked really cool. One of their basic troop units is the Skitarii Ranger, and I absolutely love their hooded robe aesthetic. And they've got mechanical bits. They kind of have like a little bit of a steampunk vibe. I used to play a Solar Warlock in Destiny 1 who was an Exo, and these guys just remind me a lot of him. And so I've started painting my army to be similar to how my Warlock looked in Destiny. So there's a little bit of nostalgia thrown in there, but honestly, I just think these guys look really cool. I wanted to paint more of them. This is probably as good a place as any to throw in my Twitch plug. I stream on Twitch pretty regularly 3 times a week, playing video games, painting miniatures, and other hobby-related things over at twitch.tv/ShinigamiNG channel. There will be a link down in the description, so come hang out with us over there. So back to the Adeptus Mechanicus army. Mine is still pretty small. I'm building them up over time, trying not to spend too much money at once, just like I was saying earlier how I built my Space Marines. And then I had an idea. So since I'm already painting miniatures and stuff over on my previously mentioned Twitch stream, I figured maybe I should make some videos for some of the kits that I buy, analyzing why I got them for my armies, whether I feel it's a good value, showing everything included for the box, like doing unboxings and stuff like that, so you kind of get an idea of like, is the amount of money you're spending worth it for this many sprues or all of these units, or you know, whatever type of thing. A lot of my current stuff is already built and painted, especially for Space Marines, but I have some new stuff that I just recently got that I think it'd be kind of cool to make some content for. And maybe instead of only doing painting streams, maybe I could do some miniature painting tutorials as well. I'm no expert at miniature painting, no expert at painting at all, but I do have some experience. I have a little bit of an art background before I started doing IT and YouTube type stuff, but I also have been painting miniatures now for a year and a half, a little bit longer, and I've painted other things before that. So I do have some experience, and maybe I could kind of share some of that knowledge with you guys. So I'm rambling a little bit now, so let me know in the comments if any of this sounds interesting to you. Do you want to see unboxings and cost analysis? Do you want to see painting tutorials? Maybe you're just here to watch me enjoying a hobby. Who knows? Maybe you're here on accident and you're not even sure how you got here. If it's that last one, please hit that like and subscribe button for more accidental additional content. If any of those applies to you, please leave me a comment below. As always, thanks for watching, guys. Barely visible. There. Now that is very red. Okay.